would be the easiest to not go to this team.
Check this one down. Peter showing 2 pair, 10s and 5s. Not seeing David's hand, and that's going to be good for this pot.
I was on a 1 pair draw.
If you're just tuning in or you're rejoining after we had to reset the broadcast, thanks for turning us on. Here on Best Bet Live, we got a 5, 10, 25 pot limit Omaha game. It's a $1,000 minimum buy-in, no max. Had some pretty good action tonight.
Players fight 2 players if you're not the hand.
Soko wants to see. Yeah. He asked me last night, actually.
Yeah, Soko to city here. Soko just popped off.
No, they have to call anybody.
I know.
I know, dude. He's coming back.
Look, Henry, I told him whatever is going to piss Henry off tonight.
Do it. Damn it.
So
Do
if he
it.
ordered the food, just don't bring it out.
Do it.
Don't call the name.
Better.
Miss Deb, yeah. How long do you have? 10 minutes? You have 10 minutes? You have 10 minutes break?
Nope.
Come on. Come on. 5 minutes
She
break.
flips really good.
There you go, Deb.
I know, it's killing me.
It's killing me to be here.
So we have Henry here raising ace, king, king, 8, double suited. Got a pair of kings, ace, king, double suited. Pretty good hand. Can't blame him for raising there. He gets a call out of, oh, I'm sorry, he gets a 3-bet out of Josh in the 2-seat. With the little mystery hand here. Action back to Henry. Should at least make a call. Maybe get a 4-bet in with this hand. Wouldn't blame him. He does get the 4-bet in. I think we're going to be going all in. Almost.
Yeah, it all depends on some of the ways some of them know how to.
Almost was all in there. 1,100 to go back to Josh. I guess so. He's moving all in, essentially to cover Henry here, and I guess we're gonna possibly see 2 boards here. Yep, we're gonna see 2 whole boards here. Josh says he's got 5 high. Can't be good. Flop for that, whatever hand he has. Although still alive.
I have 5 high.
So Henry showing aces and 9s on the first board. Put down a straight draw here. If he gets another low. Again, so now we got kings full for Henry in the second run out. Henry getting a nice little double up out of the chip leader here on this table.
14.
Nice hand for Henry.
Not hand.
I got more coming back. Actually, they call it a CO or not.
We don't have their thing. We don't know.
I know, but
I saw her push.
I know, but why? You called it already.
Why game better.
Don't worry, Lee. We'll get you a player. He'll be here shortly.
They don't get upset. I've been trying to do it all night. Well, sometimes it's, you know, they don't do it to me. Why would they do it to you?
Henry's been trying.
Y'all get some posters around this mother.
I mean, it's pretty easy. Just say, oh, CO button, tell them, call them, that's it.
I mean, the game's better, short.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just running like they're not doing their job.
You're not wrong.
What?
Do I have a seat for that little hall again?
9.
Probably not.
Because, like, I texted Johnny, but obviously he doesn't work here anymore. So.
Yeah.
950.
Probably not.
100, 300,
Sorry.
950.
He got it. He got it. Don't.
Doesn't George
Okay,
get the
this
hand
place
pick the
tonight and then,
So we got heads up action here. Toby 4-betting with ace, king, queen, jack, double suited. Gets a call out of David with 9-7-6-5, and he's got a nice little wrap here
yeah, I mean, the worst.
on the flop with the club draw.
Make it and it'd be in time for the maker.
Yeah, exactly. No,
you
I
like
can play the morning play.
All black
No,
cards,
but even if you
so
play the late
Toby can't like that
yeah,
board.
don't play the morning.
David checks, Toby checks right behind.
Right.
Yeah.
And 6 there is going to lock it up for David with the 9-high straight. See how the action plays out here on the turn. Almost 2,000 in the pot. Any bet there gets Toby to fold, and that's what happens. We will move on to the next hand.
It was a fun one. Thank you. Let's go.
So registration for event number 1 of our winter series just closed up. I'll get some updated numbers for you guys, let you know what is in store for everybody that's in already, bagged for day 2, and for everybody that still wants to join tomorrow. We've got 2 flights tomorrow, 3 and 4 at noon and 6. So we'll check on that in just a moment.
What up?
Can't sit down. You know it's cold.
Hey.
Can't just sit down.
Yeah, they have.
Who's up?
Oh, there's no name.
After this hand would.
They called it the.
What time you playing?
What time is
I saw there was 3 people.
it? We started at 7. Probably that around. 11.
Do you want to play? Yeah. You can play? Yeah, hurry up. Get off your ass. Boy, Toby's the best. If I'd have done that, I'd have gotten beat in 4th place. Here, give me that thing.
Cup shot.
You good? You good? Okay. All right.
All right, players, welcome back, welcome back. Flight's going to be at 488. Flight's 488. Registration for this flight is officially closed. Please shuffle up and kneel.
Here.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, I thought you were going to. Thanks, Brandon. Brandon, thank you.
Guys, still 200% of it, so it's still 100% of the.
Can I actually get some
chips? Some guy named Rick. And I'm right here. And I'm right here.
I had to show strength every once in a while. That's why I put my phone. That's quite a way, man. Now I wish that 9 would have been a jack. That would be a losing proposition. I'm just trying to get even.
I'm trying to work for you, man.
I might need it.
Reopen some kind of business.
Get the 25.
What you in for? 7? I'll give you 6,000 for that.
I'm gonna walk over. Pretty cool. Free roll it.
It's my 64.
I remember that dollar.
Yeah.
4 balls. 5 balls. You know what? I didn't even actually use your dollar. I put it in my pocket, so I don't know if that counts or not.
You win, it counts.
I'll still stand good.
All right, rejoining the action here. Everybody just limping here. 4 players to the flop. Kelly Joe flopping 2 pair. Kings and 10s with the flush draw. Open-ended straight. Big hand for Kelly Joe. Flush draw, straight draw, 2 pair. And he spikes the flush on the turn. Trying to get some action out of somebody else here. Not seeing Toby or Henry's hands, but must not have much. They're checking it down. 9 of spades on the river. Maybe somebody caught a straight there. We'll try for something. Kelly bets $100 here on the river. No action. Big hand did not get paid off for Kelly Joe. So got Lee here raising to $200. Jack 10, 9, 7. 2 diamonds. David makes the call. Queens and 6s. Kelly Joe's in. Ace King. We got Josh 3-betting here to 1100. Ace King, Jack 8. 2 diamonds. Back to Lee. Does make the call here. We got Kelly Joe moving all in. And we're just gonna, everybody's gonna be all in here. Pre-flop. Pretty wide range of hands, actually. This, Josh and Kelly Joe both with ace king, suited kings. So Lee's diamond draw is no good, but he's got a decent little straight draw there. David's two pocket pair in his hand. I don't know if he's going to be in this or not. I think action's on him. I mean, if you can see what we could see, he'd probably be putting his chips in.
Oh. 1100. Perfect.
What are we doing? 2150 for the middle, guys.
So David folds. We got 3 players. Everyone's all in. Sounds like we're doing
You got aces? Two full boards, guys?
2 full boards.
You got aces?
Answer me, guys. Are we doing 2 boards?
I'm just kidding.
Yes, no? Yes?
2 boards.
2 boards.
All right, here we go. This is for the side. Thank you, buddy.
Put a damn body hang, yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Flop comes 6-5-4. David fold pocket 6s. Flop the top set. Not good for him. And 5 on the river. We got 5s and 4s on the first board here.
King, baby.
King.
King 8.
Oh, Josh flops 2 pair.
Dan. You don't put the last bucket out. Last card, shuffle.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Right here, right?
Make sure we do that right.
I need a 10
Yeah, we
or a
don't put the
5.
last card out, guys. Just a rule here in poker. So we got down to the last card. We got to shuffle
10
it
or a 5, baby.
with all the burn cards.
10 or a 5.
Yeah. Nothing in the middle.
10 or a 5.
2 5s gone.
10. Ace King, chop it up.
Alright, so he took quarter.
I get, yeah.
I went the whole
So
side.
over
I
here,
went the whole
side,
side.
one side, and this gets cut here.
There's 2 pair for both Kelly, Joe, and Josh on the second run out there. Aces and kings. And his pair of 4s on the first one gives Kelly Joe 3/4 of this big pot right here.
Ace King Jack. Oh, yeah, Ace King Jack. My bad. You got me.
Not even like
You got me.
I got fucking
no 9, no 10.
Jack 9.
Bigger than second ball.
I think I might. On the main, because he put it 1100.
So this one goes.
Oh, you got to chop that one in half.
No. This one goes in half, right? Right.
Give him one of each.
Yeah, so I'm chopping this one. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I already knew one of them was chopped out. Trying to figure out who the first or the first one from.
There's no way you should call. If you have 4K, yeah.
And there again. Since the start of the night, unfortunately, I can't put up real numbers here as far as the graphics go. But Josh, let's see, he's up a little over 8K on the night. Kelly Joe's up about 4,500 on the night. Nice night for him.
I lost money in the main.
Henry's up about 1,500. Peter up about 4,000. David up about 1,500.
You should break even or.
No, I won a little. I won like 2K on that.
Toby's
He had
up.
like 2,500.
There's 4 people in the pot?
Yeah, but he was 2,100,
About
2,100, 1,100.
4,000
I get
himself.
quartered.
Yeah, but you pull.
And then I get 2,500 on the side. I won money in the hand.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of winners here. Big losers not with us anymore.
Yeah, see, everyone's happy.
I would have been happy to chop it.
DJ, Jeremy lost big.
I'm happy I folded the pocket 6.
Lee already buying back in now.
But he didn't.
Six folds. I didn't think you were very happy.
7 folds.
I'm making a little bear twice. Not even bear.
No bear on either.
No bear when it can call.
Yeah, he-
No bear when it can call.
7.
No chance. You got no bear, Lee.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
There's no bear when it can
7,
call.
9,
So you have
10.
no chance.
Deuce,
You got no
maybe.
bear.
Well, I fucking have that.
The 4 of hearts was the window card, and I got a 4 and hearts. And then that 4 held up.
Yeah. So,
Hey, you're 4 held up, dog. Hey, time flop.
This is it?
Yeah, it's 125. Okay, hey, 125. Time and tip.
Next card.
No, that's.
Four-way action on the flop here. Hang with pocket aces over pair to the board. Henry's got top pair, ace king. Hang does have the heart flush draw. Toby not sure what he has there. Eight of clubs on the turn. Lee picks up the flush draw. Club flush.
Even though your food wasn't on time.
We're still checking.
I checked.
They get off laughing at us.
Henry checks. Gonna see the river.
That's good night. That's good night.
Queen of diamonds. Not sure what Toby has, but Hang having the best of the hands we can see with two pair aces and queens.
He's that guy where like,
Check to me.
Hey,
I think he's looking up to Kelly's sister, and I won't marry your daughter when she gets to the queens or ace king or something. I got kings and eights. He does eights. I'm sorry.
Who's that?
I can't even read my hand and know it wasn't any good anyway.
The Hang is good. Let's see Toby's hand, but Hang wins that one.
Yeah. You want to have more money. Whichever one have more money, right? No, you don't want to punch him in the face.
Yeah, God forbid that thing misses $1 somewhere.
what's the rate? No, it ain't. It's just making it easy for us. We just check it.
Same when they called us out a minute ago.
You're getting it right. It's only fair though.
It's a good thing you didn't
daughter married.
I told 10, I said, I'm like,
4,000 a month.
yeah, something.
Oh, there's a strap also.
I have 4 cards.
That's fine. You want to go?
Oh, okay.
Taking it back?
That's good from
Right.
Yo,
Yeah,
let's
their cards
feel
are so
tell
small.
them
feel like they're air.
He's driving over there.
I like how thick these cards are. I just hate the way they look.
Oh, yeah, they look weird.
Yeah, I'm saying the way it looks. What I would try to do set up tomorrow is I have my back game. I have a TV outside and have a TV inside. No, it'll be two. No, no worries.
Listen, I got these. I just ordered 2 of them. I got it. They just do it.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is like, okay, you
No, but they're not that great quality.
yes, they are.
But I'll have 2 TVs, so it'll be enough. It could be like
So Josh here,
yeah. So why not?
flop 2 pair, turns a higher 2 pair, jacks and eights. Not sure what Henry has. He's checking to Josh. Josh leads out 275 here on the turn.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I say 2 of us do
Like
2.
if Henry makes the call here, at the very least, he's got one of those flush draws. Possibly a straight draw. Henry called the 3-bet pre-flop by Josh.
He's sick, bitch.
So he does make the call there on the turn. 4 of hearts. Looks to be a blank. It could complete a straight, though,
As soon as y'all put them
if Henry had a wrap there. 1,100 in the pot. Now Henry getting a bet together. Perhaps he does have,
Okay.
no,
Shut up, Paul.
That's what Paul says.
Get him, Henry.
Come on. If he jams it like that and eliminates somebody,
straight here with that 4. So with 2 pair, Josh makes the raise here on the river to put the pressure back onto Henry.
like That's being $3 to $1. I mean, $2 to $1 that man.
Pretty much, yeah, it's Henry's gonna put all his chips in if he wants to continue in this hand. So that's where we're at right now.
Oh, the shirt? Yeah. You're not making a new one?
Nah, probably. I still got like 200 of these.
Oh, wow, 200?
And triple X? Yeah. I'll take triple X. Yeah, I got another. Yeah.
You got a,
5X.
Tommy D side?
And he's putting all his chips in. Chip counts are a little off,
Josh, are you
guys.
drinking something?
Yeah.
Try to get him to fix
Where are
that.
you drinking, man?
So he does, is all in here, and let's see if we can see what his cards are. Should be getting those put in.
How come you don't pull it?
Again, Josh has jacks and eights.
That's one of the shirts that you're supposed to print out.
And Henry,
Too beautiful. Yeah.
we can catch up here. 8-5, yep, 8-5. That 4 straightened him out there, and it was the diamond, so I was right about the diamond draw, flush draw. Henry spiking a straight on the river. It's paid off by the chip leader.
Tell him where you got it.
Tweet it out right now. Send it out on Twitter.
Henry's up, boys. You got $200. I've been counting you down since the start.
He's gonna start with the tracking.
The only reason I'm keeping it up is I'm trying to see who the highest hourly rate is up here right now for March. So I'm trying
What?
who makes the most hourly.
Definitely.
He comes in here 3 hours or makes 14,000 and goes in.
Coffee, food, drink, cocktail.
Oh, thought you were somebody.
I'm sure he's gonna be happy when he hears you saying that on the street. I'm sure he's gonna be happy when you hears you saying that on the street. He's gonna replay that over and over like.
He says it.
Yeah.
Do you want any sauce with that? Grilled chicken?
I lost last night.
Hey, cheers.
Got out of hole, huh?
I had a pretty good last quarter.
5-5 here. Everyone has to go once no matter how big. Yeah.
It's no time break, so yeah.
I like that. 5-5. I wouldn't like that in this game. 5-5 is good.
That's fair.
2150.
GI? Yeah, but it's so much better. It's so much better for the game overall, though.
That cap rate is
Yeah.
I mean, I always play.
I don't know.
When it's within your comfort zone, it's nice to go.
Rejoining the action here pre-flop. So far everybody limping here. It's 5-10-25 pot limit Omaha game. I only $1,000 minimum buy.
Oh, burn!
Four players here limping to the flop.
Whoa!
9 high board rainbow. Peter.
Hey, Toby, it's okay to play a hand.
Pair of eights.
Yes.
sorry, two pair, 8s and 5s. Nice straight draw. Hang those, the one betting. Mystery hand, Peter just flats. Going to the turn here, heads up.
Oh, shit. Mine would be more like
Ace of diamonds on the turn. Possible diamond draw out there for Hang. Peter checks again. Two pair of checks. Hang bets, gets Peter to fold. $225 is enough for Peter to lay it down.
Hey, no coaching. No coaching.
One man to the house. One man to the house. I thought you was waiting on this small to put your money in. That's your coach? I was like, no, right here. Put your quarter in. Oh, that's your backer. Backer. It's still going to be the quarter. He's stay here on the Waffle. You're stay with him.
No, David's taking everybody away.
Oh, David. I'm going.
Following that hand up, Hang picks up pocket aces, 7-5 of spades, raises to $100. David makes the call. Peter lays down, folds an ace.
Tommy, big nose, green guy. Yeah, oh yeah.
That girl was beautiful.
Henry makes the call. 3 players to the flop. Queen high board, 2 hearts. I'm not sure what David has. So far, oh, there it is, 9s and deuces for David. So Hang with the best hand over pair, aces. After David and Henry both check, he leads out $150. Really not much for them to call with, so although Henry makes the call.
I haven't been playing much on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And he spikes an 8 on the turn. It's like you knew it was coming. Set of 8s for Henry. Now he's going to pot it. See what Hang looks to do here. So has the overpair to the board. But a check call on the flop, followed by a pot bet on the turn. Some red flags shooting up there. Henry's got to have something pretty strong. Hang lays down the pocket aces. My name is Wes, and tonight we are bringing you the 5-10-25 pot limit Omaha game here on Best Bet Live, streaming out of Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, be sure to hit that follow button. Make sure you are subscribed so you can get updates whenever we go live in the future. Next stream is going to be tomorrow night, our other big game, 5-10-25 No Limit Hold'em. Slated to start at 8:30, but it might be earlier. These guys showed up early wanting to play, and we got started as soon as we could for them. But then after that, on Sunday, we're having final table action here for our Winter Series event number 1. $360 buy-in, $100K guaranteed event. So 2 more flights into that tomorrow, noon and 6 p.m. 20,000 in starting chips, 30-minute levels. Make it to day 2. Going to be 40-minute levels.
You didn't do Henry?
Raise to a foul. What? He's saying, because don't worry about it.
Heads up action here between Lee and Peter. Lee getting a 4-bet in against Peter. Ace, king, king, 10. Not suited. Not sure what Peter has, though. Pair of 7s on the board. Rainbow board, 10 high. Peter checks to Lee, pre-flop aggressor. Peter did 3-bet. Lee's initial raise of 100. So Lee gets the C-bet in here. 1,000 to go after Peter checks with 2 pair kings and 7s. So Peter 3-bets Lee and calls the 4-bet. Wouldn't be surprised if Peter's got aces in this spot, but we won't see.
Peter, can you get a massage in here or no?
Yeah.
So Lee takes it down. Nice 4-bet pre-flop. Got chips up a little over 1,000 on that hand. Trying to dig his way out.
How long ago?
No, the last time I played in here, they wouldn't let a girl come and get me.
I know D-Bank.
But that's been a while.
They wouldn't let girls do what?
They wouldn't let us have massages in here while we were streaming.
Yeah.
I think I remember that too.
I guess they
Oh,
changed it
but he
after
does,
you-
he do quite often.
Okay, agreed. This one's a real lot.
It's just not this time.
Yeah, you're not this time. Hey, we're going to bat for you just this once now.
Hey, why you
All the
think
other times you'll be on, bro.
Yeah, you out there on your own, goddamn. And there's a legion behind you.
Gonna be hard on your future son at 7 home.
But David raising here.
Took me a while to catch on what you were trying to say.
Peter makes the call, ace, jack, 10-9. Suited ace, hearts, Kelly Joe. Probably gonna lay this one down. Cody should fold right behind.
David, you could do worse.
Go back to Josh. Still the big stack at the table. There we go, seeing David's cards, at least queen, jack, 10-9. Suited jack, and he flops Broadway. Josh checks to him. There are 2 spades on the flop. David's betting 600. Got a pot-sized bet here. Folds to Josh. And the cards just aren't, they're not exactly where they're supposed to be for us to get a reading there. That one seat in particular is pretty finicky. We'll try to play along, see what he has, figure out what he has. He does make the call here. And Josh just limped pre-flop. 5 of diamonds. David picks up a flush draw to go with his Broadway. Josh checks again. One more bet out of David. Gets Josh to fold. We'll never know what he had. A good hand for David. Flopping Broadway. We do have high hand going on here at our Regency location in Jacksonville, 201 Monument Road, up until midnight tonight. $300 every 20 minutes. Sure to come in and try for a piece of that action. You can also watch live here, the live stream without delay. On the side, we've got a nice bar set up on the side. And again, we have our Winter Series kicking off today. Event number 1 going on right now. We've got events going on all week, culminating in our main event, $1,100 buy-in. Got 2 flights into that. Day 1A, Friday the 24th at 11 a.m. and day 1B is Saturday the 25th at 11 a.m. 25,000 in chips, 40-minute levels, and we will be streaming the final table of that here on Best Bet Live. You can see the full schedule of events with structures and a satellite schedule as well for our main event. Visit our website, bestbetjacks.com. That's JAX. For more information on our tournaments, our promotions, live stream schedule, everything that's going on at both Best Bet locations here in Jacksonville and over at Orange Park. Joining the action here, 5 players to the flop. David here turns 2 pair, 5s and trays. Let's have looking for the deuce to get a straight. Josh does have 2 of them in his hand. Josh has flush draw. He leads out for 375 after David checks. David flats. And Josh spikes the diamond there on the river. He checks it. See if he can get anything out of David, who checks behind. So not much more for Josh, but he does win it with the 10 high flush.
Hey, he's back now. That Kelly Joe's okay, you know, he's not so bad.
Like I'm not.
Just gonna crash after this stream, or I don't know, you finish playing today?
You want to try to satellite your way into our $1,100 main event. We got all sorts of satellites going on throughout the week. We also have the Mega Satellite on Thursday, the 23rd, 6 p.m. start. 20 seats guaranteed out of that into that Winter Series main event. High hands going into all of those satellites. Try to free roll your way into that $1,100 main event. Three players here after Peter raises $250. Kelly, Joe, and David call. Three-way action to the flop.
As long as you ever stayed up.
Now we got so 10 high board on the flop. 5 comes on the turn. Peter has 2 pair 10s and 5s, currently the best hand. Kelly Joe open-ended. Bets, gets David to call. Peter's out of there, heads up to the river. And 6s and 5s. Good for Kelly Joe on the river.
Woke up, back of my car was hitting a off the road, hitting like a apartment building sign. Like I corrected, which is like not what you're supposed to do, but it like worked out. And then I was like on the road that I used to live on. My boy still lived there, and I just like pulled over and slept in his driveway. How much do I have? Not sure.
I got 56 on
And everybody back to the table, full table.
18,775.
18,780. Damn.
No way.
18, whatever.
785.
What odds are you?
I'm 94, off my 4,400. Start of $5.
You got 44 higher?
Yeah, off
Nice.
44. Second.
Yeah.
Nice.
Even money, you bet?
You know, they have like 18,000.
Yeah, it was a
We both fold this hand?
Yeah, yeah.
Flash?
Tommy, these win.
This is 22, this is 2340,
He's within like 5.
75, 2380.
He's sharper than I thought.
Yeah, 87, 18.
So we have Peter here raising to $100. Kelly Joe makes the call. Kings, Queen 10. At the King, Queen of Hearts. Lee makes the call. 33 players to the flop. 7 high board. King's looking pretty strong. Not sure what Peter has though. Pre-flop aggressor. Lee leads out. 250. Pretty loose with just a pair of 6s. Peter gets the raise in. Should be enough to get Lee to fold. Kelly Joe's out of there. And good raise by Peter.
Are you going to cut down on something next? Or just
From here, right? Yeah, I just gotta wake up.
He's a diabetic, but he called him when he was 2.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Well, I finally got him. So what are you waiting on? I called the doctor. He said I caught the diabetes.
He's so stupid.
I said, we don't catch him at Tommy. I just told him.
How about a straddle?
I told him, I said, well, I ain't going down there. I don't want to catch him.
Coffee, food, drinks, cocktails.
Yeah, I ordered some food. It's on me?
Does it matter when you want the last one?
Have to last watch.
Time or something? Yeah, that was fun. Or we can just do it now.
Just no fries?
We can do it this
Okay, is that it?
753.
It was 753?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, 100%.
yeah, 75 trade.
Peter.
Peter.
Your time last name.
I like
You
that.
guys okay over here?
Loser.
Well,
Maybe loser. Maybe loser.
what do you make me loser? Fuck it, I lose. We loser.
No, not in the game. In time swap, I think.
I didn't lose. Anytime.
You pay twice, I pay once.
I didn't say anytime.
No, I was saying the flop was 753.
Oh.
So I was just saying, I know I can.
When you non-Americans have to pay that.
What's cool?
Nothing racist.
That's cool.
3-bet by hang here. Pocket aces. Double suited. Josh makes the call on the button with the same suits. So hopefully he doesn't hit one of those flushes for his sake. Heads up to the flop. Not sure what the flop is, but hang leading out here about $1,000. 950 the technical pot bet. Been pretty loose with that tonight. This thing has gone out. King high board, 2 diamonds. Yep. So hang is betting the diamond draw, and that's enough to get Josh to fold. Hey Jesse, be checking in there on our Twitch chat. Pretty much the same. Actually, action slowed down a little bit. The pots not as big as they were. They had a couple big ones.
No shit.
But still pretty good action tonight in this 5, 10, 25 pot limit Omaha game.
Chip. You got 5?
Oh, just give me one.
Yeah.
You know, you have it? Give me one.
What?
You may get it? I got it in my pocket right here.
No. You get answer. No, hey, you got a problem. Oh, there we go.
We could write a book on Tommy's
Does his Twitter account still active? Or is
I don't know if they've been messing with it or not.
um,
Come on, man. Drink up.
he have to make a bet. Who do you get to go? I mean, this is
So it was a $50 straddle here, limping 3 players to the flop. 2 aces. Henry flopping trips. 2 clubs on the board, so Peter has the flush draw. I'm sure what David has, but he checks. Checks around to Henry. We see a free turn card here. It's going to give Henry the boat, and depending on what David has, it's Henry's pot to lose. See how the action plays out. He just had to reach for some chips that gets those guys to fold. Move on to the next hand.
If we drink this one, I'll buy it. Maybe, I think a dollar. One more? Yeah, one more. How about a police car? What time is it? Not feeling it, you're going to save it for the fight tomorrow night?
Yeah, I get a headache.
10 o'clock?
Half a bottle. Yes, new coach. You like the stud? Yeah, you like the stud. Hey, you like the stud low?
Toby down there acts like he catches a joke.
He's folding.
Toby doesn't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, this man folded 4-7 suited.
It's okay.
I picked up some things.
Hang around this crew and you'll learn all kinds of shit you didn't know.
Shit you don't want to learn, really.
Yeah, the shit you don't want to learn.
Yeah, you don't want to learn that. Sure. Especially from Kelly.
You can learn a lot from a dummy.
Yeah. Agree. Things you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't believe me, just watch.
Hey, you can't be on it, boys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sam's dead.
Dad, he says.
Sam's dead.
We'll just throw it in.
Okay, okay.
Would you feel bad if you just fumbled his cards and just the whole hand is exposed in the middle of the hand?
Then I have to give him money back, obviously, whatever he put in. But if he had if he was nutted, I'm not giving him more.
Bet pot wherever you go.
I did deep run about 9 at the end of the year. And second in this tournament, it's going up here the main year. I got second.
Hey, are you playing in this thing?
Not this one right now, but next weekend.
This is too small.
They're not, maybe I'll play next week.
The 1100.
Yeah,
I was
you gotta
losing
check.
a little bit. After the
If you don't play, you get
said
said. You should play this one.
15,000, 20,000.
I'm gonna
Because
play
I started a lot.
I'm gonna play the half and half
I
tomorrow.
cashed
I'll play the
for like
$100
Yeah, he
down.
didn't play.
lost
He didn't play.
it.
I'm gonna play the $100 down.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Next Sunday?
Yeah.
This coming
This
Sunday.
kid, I swear to God, since HPT in Daytona, flopped like 5 sets in the first 2 holes.
I did, and I still couldn't make it on that bullet. It was insane, actually, how many sets I flopped.
It was actually insane. It was like, these guys were like, there's no way he has no set. I'll just get it in with 4 high. Yeah, one hand he flops top set, checks it back, this guy turns like a steel wheel draw, and they get the money in and he rivers quads.
Yeah, I made quads twice in addition to floppers. Like, some of the sets turned into quads.
Right.
Where was this?
All right, we got 3 players here to the flop. Lee raised with queen 10, 5-4. Double suited, gets calls out of Peter and Henry. Henry with pocket aces here. Does not get the does not 3-bet Lee there pre-flop. Kind of lay in the weeds there. Jack high board, rainbow.
I don't know what happened. I just lost hands. Yeah.
Pedal to the metal.
Lee's got the open-ended straight draw here. 2 backdoor flushes. Henry leads out 325 with the overpair. Lee makes the call.
Doesn't make any sense.
Spikes a set of aces on the turn. But Lee now
Just 1 minute.
with the flush draw to go with his straight draw.
I literally like
8 or a king. He's going to give a straight to Lee.
The nearest guy to me is like
Diamond gives him a flush.
or
And
95.
he bets 975.
I like
Lee makes the call.
go psycho with a pair of threes.
And he spikes a diamond on the river. Unfortunately, pairs the board. Gives Henry aces full. See how the action plays out here. Henry is first to act with the second nuts.
Last year I played that tournament. I went to
It's a bit quicker, but like legit probably the softest 2K you can play in America. Like no bullshit.
Oh, it's definitely soft. I could not stand the structure last year.
Yeah, the structure wasn't good this year. They skipped too many levels.
And he's gonna bet 1,500.
Right. That's all I played.
He's a pretty good player. He might be able to sniff out a boat here with the paired board.
I love how
Henry bet the entire way.
Too big.
Hard to put him on aces with him just flatting the raise pre-flop, but very easily could have another pocket pair.
how they uncap every game.
Lee wants to see it though. He's stuck and hit the diamond that he needed on the river. Unfortunately, it was the wrong diamond. And he pays Henry's aces full of sixes off.
Compared to like the weekends, you came at like a bad time, you know. Same with Doug. You got both came to like win the games. Yeah, I mean you're not wrong, but it could be better.
How could he?
How can it not be good?
I mean David could be in the game. You know what I mean? Like,
That's true.
that's the only way you get better.
Nice hand for Henry. So again, our next live stream is going to be tomorrow night. We've got the 5-10-25 no limit hold'em game. Our biggest game that we have on a regular basis here, a couple times a month.
Yeah, let's go. 3X.
Be sure to tune in for that. And then we have the final table action of our Winter Series event number 1 on Sunday. As soon as we get down to a final table, we'll start the stream up and watch as play resumes and ends for that tournament. 100K guaranteed, big prize pool. So we'll have 2 flights for that tomorrow at noon and 6 p.m. $360 buy-in, 20,000 in chips, 30-minute levels. They restart noon on Sunday. Levels are going to increase to 40 minutes.
Hey, Wes, I'm back. How's the game?
Oh, hey, Jesse. Just had a big hand. Pretty good action still throughout the night. Pretty good game for everybody watching.
You know, that's one thing about PLO is it seems like, and I think that's what people like it. There's always a lot of good action.
You would like this one. You would love this one.
Kind of surprised Kelly Joe folding that hand, speaking of all the good action, with a 9-10 jack in his hand.
Facing a 3-bet by David, I guess a little concerning for him. Josh
Yes,
makes
3.
the call. That's a pretty loose call there.
I would say so, yeah. How are the chip stacks? Josh still a big winner?
Josh still up pretty big, up over a little over 8,000. He lost a couple thousand throughout the evening, but still big. Up big, the big winner thus far tonight. And
David bet 1,000 there, easy fold for Josh.
Yeah. Got to be careful in Omaha. It's easy to make calls with hands that you really shouldn't, just because you got 4 cards.
Because you never know. Because you just never know. You're right. Hey, you get 4 cards. You got position on a guy. You want to take a chance? That's what you do in Omaha. Hey, did we ever figure out how many people we got in flight 2 tonight of event number 1?
We had, I want to say like 95 people.
95? Nice.
Yeah, big turnout, and day 2 is always much bigger. We're going to crush that guarantee.
Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow will be a really big day.
These guys, a bunch of them were talking about playing tomorrow too, so we might even see some of these guys again on the final table Sunday evening.
So what are the odds we see? They're all, I mean, Kelly Joe will play the tournament. Henry probably play the tournament. Toby will play the tournament. Not sure about Peter and Lee. They probably play.
I think they'll probably play. They'll definitely play in the main event next weekend.
They'll definitely. Yeah, Cody and Josh, they might play tomorrow. So what are the chances we see one of these guys at the final table?
Oh, we've got some pretty strong tournament players, so the chances are relatively
decent.
Good.
Yeah.
Peter's going to raise his button here with pocket aces. One of them.
Yeah, well, David has a pretty good hand here with the 7-7-5-6. You know, opening a straight draw, a pair, and a pair, sort of. Not a good card for either player.
Peter's still looking for that flush. David still. So Peter hits the flush there on the river, but David doesn't have really anything to make the call there, so he's not getting paid off.
And, you know, that's a case where both players were content to get to the river and try to hit their hand. And Peter hit his, David missed his, and that's the way it goes. Peter gives him a little preview.
I don't know how many of these guys are going to play in the Omaha tournament tomorrow. The limit, it's the Omaha 8 and stud 8 mixed game.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We do have next Saturday, it's the Big O PLO mixed tournament. Might see, I know Henry likes to play in those Omaha tournaments.
Henry will probably play in both of them. And you know, I would love to play the Big O PLO high mix,
great.
Because, you know, it's kind of fun. You know, you get 5 cards, you play high-low split. You get 4 cards, you play straight high. So I think that would be a lot of fun to switch it up in that respect. I do also like the OE version, the Omaha and the stud 8 or better, which is tomorrow. The 8 or better stud / Omaha 8 or better. That's a fun event. Those are my 2 best games, so I like that event for sure. I would play that.
Henry flopping a set here.
Josh, top set against top 2. Henry might get a little payoff here from Josh. Josh has been running good.
Henry already doubled up through Josh earlier.
Deuce spades. Nonchalant little card there. So what do you bet here if you're Henry? About 600?
Sounds
I mean, you can't bet. You can't bet too much. You don't want to. If the guy has a queen 10, you're in bad shape. But you do want to get people to pay off with hands like Josh has.
Oh, you bet the pot.
All right, bet the pot. All right. That might send Josh to the muck there, the pot. You know. If Josh thinks Henry's not like a very extremely active player, he plays pretty tight. Josh is going to make the call.
I don't know if he's going to get away from this hand here, top 2. I
mean, that's a very suspect call by Josh.
Club on the river might help him, actually.
It is going to help him. It's going to slow down both players, and that might just take it to showdown, and Henry will win the pot as it stands. Unless Josh tries to, let's see. Josh does not have, he's going to try to bluff at it. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And that's a case where Josh just turned his hand into a bluff. And I'll tell you what, it really might work against Henry because he got called. And there's, you know, wow, look at that. That's a great play by Josh there, recognizing the fact that as long as Henry doesn't have a couple clubs, it's going to be very hard for him to call.
He tells him, though, he had 2 pair.
That's wild.
So he turned. That is definitely an advanced play there to turn a hand that was a suspect hand with all he had to. All he could really win was catching an ace or turn his hand into a bluff. So that's quite a play by Josh. Especially without having any clubs in his hand.
Guess that's why he's got almost 20,000 in front of him.
Yeah, well, he is a player there, obviously. All he could really do a block. So, yeah, I mean that's just that's a great play. That's PLO. You know what I mean? Those are the things you can do when the board when something comes on the end, you can represent it, and it makes it hard to call by anybody. All the mystery hands here. All right, here we go.
Well, Peter's got the nut flush draw. Kelly Joe with 2 pair. He's got to hope that a diamond doesn't hit. David, though, betting 1,000. So you see 2 aces out already. Diamonds are.
So what does David have here?
Yeah,
you know, potentially a bottom
have?
set of 8s, maybe.
Oh, there's 2 8. Henry and Kelly.
Oh no,
both
there's
have
2
eights.
8s. Set of
9s.
What's the other card there? Set of 9s. Ace 9, maybe. No, I mean that's hard. 10 Jack. He's got to have a 10 Jack, and maybe a couple hearts in his hand. It's really all that's left for him.
Henry's in the tank here with 2 pair. Safe to say Kelly's going to make the call here unless Henry makes a raise.
And they each have the same 2 pair, and you're probably right. Kelly does have the, a bad flush draw, which is only enough to get yourself in trouble.
All right, Henry and Kelly Joe are in. And now we got Hang, another mystery hand who.
Wow.
Thinking about it. Just a lot in the pot. I guess it's something to think about, even if you don't have too much.
Yeah, even with a weaker hand, with a weak draw here, you got to think about it because it is a big pot.
We got to assume that's the case ace on the flop between Hang and David.
Yes.
They got to have. They should. One of them should have an ace. The way this is looking.
One of them should have an ace. We should have a 10 Jack, Queen, and a couple hearts. Does Kelly Joe have the ace? Oh, Kelly draws backdoor hearts.
Yeah.
And weak diamonds, and Peter has. I mean, oof. They have to.
Wow.
It's the straight wrap cards are really the only thing that's left for Hang and David.
Oh.
Ooh,
boy.
paired the board with an 8.
So.
Kelly
Henry
Joe and Henry. Are you kidding me? Serious? Am I seeing that right? They just each flopped the full house or turned the full house? They did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's check to Henry, who's moving all in. Kelly will be right behind him.
All in for 6,000. Kelly has just about the same amount. Quick call by him, right?
Yeah.
That should be the end of it. Everybody else is going to fold. They got straight draws. Peter's obviously not going to call with 2 kings.
You got to figure, especially, I mean, with a paired board, 2 all ends after him, you got to figure somebody's got
Yeah.
the boat there. But, hand folded. I'm not sure what David did.
Yeah, and same with Peter.
He folded. This Peter folds too. So we're
Did
just gonna
Peter
chalk this
call?
up.
No,
he
Peter
folded.
folded.
He was
Okay.
just showing his hand.
I mean, come on. Peter's never calling there.
No.
All right, chop it up, boys. Easy game.
Started out pretty exciting, especially trying to figure out what.
I mean,
David
it had a lot of potential, but if you break it down, the only cards left to have for David and Hang are the straight draws, right? The hearts are gone, the diamonds are gone. So they have to have some sort of straight wrap around the 8-9, which may have been a decent call. I'm really not sure on their part, but once the board pairs on the turn, that sort of solidifies the situation, and that none of your draws are any good anymore because somebody's going to have a full house without that much action.
You're right. No, you're right, Kelly. I mean, you're right.
Big pot, though. Even getting half, it's a decent pot.
No. Don't be scared, David.
Well, it's nice to see the players at the table laughing it up and joking and needling each other and having a good time. It makes for we are lucky. We generally have some good tables, especially our live stream games. There's a lot of good friendly banter and poker camaraderie, I guess you'd call it.
The wine
They're out
definitely
here.
helps.
The wine helps. Yeah, the wine helps a lot. The wine helps a lot. And they're definitely. I mean, you're playing poker. You keep score by how many chips you win. So they're out to win each other's money, but they still have a good time. Derek in the comment. I am Jesse, aka the boss, and Wes. We're in the booth. Wes is in the booth. I'm somewhere else on a remote location, testing out our remote commentator situation. Speaking of that, we're coming close to the end of the night. I'm going to leave this up to Wes to close it out.
Well, I definitely appreciate you joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great. I like this remote commentator thing. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad we're able to do this, and I can join in, and we will soon figure this out even better and have other people join in and do some remote commentator on more of our live streams. I watch them all the time anyway, so it's fun to be able to commentate. And games like this, Omaha, like I said, I'm not a PLO player, so it's very interesting to me to watch the action on some of the PLO games and see some of those plays like Josh Atkins just made there. It's very cool. So anyway, I look forward to doing it again, and I will see everybody back here tomorrow night. We're going to have a 5, 10 and a quarter no limit hold'em game, and I may jump in the booth again. Cool. As it is. So thanks everybody. I will leave you to Wes to close out this game for the next 30 minutes or so, and talk to you later. Have a good night.
Have a good night, Jesse. Thanks for coming in. We're just going to rejoin the action here. We got a bet by Josh on the flop. First to act, 2 8s and a jack. We're not seeing his hand. He got raised by Henry to 2,300. Cody did make the fold, so Josh is the one the action is on. He does make the call. Two mystery hands battling it out here. Josh was the pre-flop raiser with an 8 on the board. A big pot bet there. Minimum, he's got to have a strong jack. Maybe the check on the turn. I don't think Henry has an 8 in that spot. Put him on a relatively strong jack. Well, the diamond draw gets there on the river. So Josh first to act. See if he can get a good read on the situation here.
You?
Somebody was whistling way too much. 2 bet 61. How much? 61.
And he bets the pot. Again, putting the pressure back on Henry. Maybe that last hand comes into play here. Josh did tell Henry all he had was 2 pair. So he's able to bet Henry off of his set earlier.
Well, Josh, you got it. You got it.
I have an 8.
Henry calls.
8-4 jack.
You got it, you got it, Josh.
Henry makes the call, and he says he's got 8 jack.
Yeah, left.
You have it.
Okay, count it. Is your dad taking?
Yes, Dad is buying at Wacko's tonight.
Dad.
Josh said he had an 8. He's not good enough to beat 8s full of jacks. He said he's got an 8. He was. I'm going to take him for his word on it. He was honest about having 2 pair earlier when he bet Henry off. I don't know if you bluff that big on the river without at least an 8. Fortunately, if you don't have a boat, he didn't have a boat, and Henry takes that one down. A nice double up by Henry there. Big hand for Henry, actually. Henry now up 15,000 since the start of the night. And there was Josh once sitting with over 20,000 in front of him, back now to almost his starting stack.
Hey, remember I doubled you up and you said you got to start somewhere? You started somewhere.
Did he double up and then who else?
You started.
Adding to
Adding 5? 10.
Yeah, 400.
1000.
600. He went from 400 to that.
You got it, you got it.
17 starts the action.
Well, you have more money than expect. Invest in the stock market now.
I know you got Charles Robert. Keep talking about
I don't know anything about stuff. I don't
So Toby here, who has ace high straight on the flop. But he has the clubs go against him. He bets and he has anything to call, so he's going to take this one down uncontested.
That's cool.
That's fair.
Henry, you won again.
That's fair though.
Good call, Cody. Now you already have it.
Oh, you already got it? I already got it.
You trying to get the double dip again? You need one? I got it.
I got you, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Got tired of us rationing about the one?
What the hell? more.
Just tuning in. Thank you for joining us here as the stream winds down. We still got some pretty good action coming your way. Coming to you out of Jacksonville, Florida. It's a 5-10-25 pot limit Omaha game. It was a minimum $1,000 to get into this game. Had a couple players buying for $10K. Bunch of players rebuy as the night went on.
You see the hustle. Yeah, you see that? Your arms are up. He's like,
Winning my Yanny land.
That's a little shuffle. He shuffled over here.
That was it, man. You saw me running 100 yards there.
Never ran like that, man.
That was
He
100.
might outrun Beasley.
Let's just get this clarified. If you have a heart attack and all that right now, I do get your chips done out there.
We split him. We halves on all this shit, and then after he falls out, he wants 20%.
No. Me and Dan's chopping his chips up. Just me and
So far, we're just limping here. $50 straddle.
I ain't planning on dying.
6 players to the flop.
Better not be planning on making no more runs, either.
See David's hand if he put his cards down on the table for a second. Long enough to get for a reader to get them. We're checking around though.
Tommy B.
Hang with a set and position, sitting in a nice spot here. Josh leads out for 200 after everybody checks to him.
Hey, who all was in
2 clubs on the board.
Sitting at table 1, and we bet on how long it would take. It was
I
us.
was better.
Hey, we bet how long it would take him once we
15
seen him
minutes.
coming from the bathroom.
15 minutes. 10 minutes or 15 minutes?
No, it was like
30 minutes.
no, it was like 5 minutes.
No.
More than that.
I said not 15 minutes.
15
He didn't
minutes.
make it. Yeah, he didn't make it.
I thought it was like 5. Anyway, it was at least 5 minutes, and he didn't make it.
More
To
time.
get like once we seen him coming from the bathroom to get up there.
this
to
5 minutes.
Yeah, from that hall door over there.
Yeah.
To up the ramp and in the table one.
Table one.
Over, it was at least 5 minutes. Might have been 15. He didn't make
15
it.
minutes.
Yeah.
Because you will have the people know him over there. He will stop by there and talk to
So
people.
Josh 3 bets here. Hang moves all in.
However long it was, he didn't make it. For sure.
Not sure what he has here. 10 of hearts on the turn. 8 of clubs. Josh says he's got a flush there. So if that's right, and what he said, 2 pair on the turn, we're going to chop this one up. Josh takes the first run out with a flush. Hang takes the second one. Set of 6s.
That's fair.
Standard. Standard.
Oh, king or
Obviously, close to it. Maybe not the second one.
was it that all?
I had the return, yeah, it's king or 9.
You guys are. I don't even know why I'm seeing this. You know, we'll make 5-5.
And Josh is going to raise here pre-flop. 125 to go. See if he gets any action here. David makes the call. Beautiful. Henry with some chips in front of him now. He makes the call. Going to be 3 players to the flop. The only hand we know of is Henry. Got a pair of 10s, queen 8, suited queen. Yeah, it's definitely a lot harder for the table to pick up all 4 cards for the players, especially when they're, you know, being held the whole time and not put in the right spot. It's okay. It's a lot of fun to try to figure out a hand here. So Josh gets the C bet in on the flop, $350.
Ben said that he thinks you're a very good player. And then
Regular old white guy.
And then I was like, that's a lot. Because all I ever hear Ben do is talk shit about how bad he is.
David makes the call. Actually, to Henry now. With the gut shot, straight draw, backdoor clubs.
There's stuff that's like borderline, like Italian and white.
No, yeah, the European
Six
white.
of spades on the
Like
turn.
West Coast white.
There's like Russian white or something.
Yeah.
Henry picks up a gut shot,
But he's
another gut
regular
shot.
white.
So a 9 or a jack. Give him a straight. They both check to Josh. See if he fires again here. Again, bet pre-flop. Bets the flop. Gonna put him on at least an ace in this spot. And that bet there on the turn gets both David and Henry to fold.
How long did you get here?
He's white. But you have to describe him.
3 hours, you must be driving 100 miles an hour. Usually I drive like 30.
And he's like,
What am I doing?
probably regular white. No, they second generation. They can't go.
I hope when you win, man. Do you lose?
That's the round now. You don't have to
Drive back to my park
the wall. Yeah.
You can play.
You're definitely never going to make off.
Good player. Hey.
Damn, Kelly.
Quick
you must be
hand,
stuck.
too.
You're stuck. Kelly's stuck.
Boy, you got 4, right?
Yeah, you got to go bed now?
It's a missed deal.
Aw,
Two
shit.
cards stuck together.
Two cards stuck
Yeah, his two cards stuck together.
Take your time, man. Hey, take your time. We still have 17 minutes.
We have 17 minutes. Oh, Peter Pan has the ace, baby.
Hey, hey, I checked this out.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I must be a good poker player. I can do that. Makes me good.
A couple more hands as this stream winds down tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us again on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube Live. Here is Best Bet Live. Make sure you are following and subscribe to us. You can get updates whenever we go live in the future. You can watch all of our archive streams on each of those sites as well. Next stream is going to be tomorrow night. We got one on Sunday as well. A couple more down the pipe. Busy month for Best Bet Live. A lot of action for you guys. Tournament action as well. Final table action Sunday, our 100K guarantee, and next Sunday on our 200K guarantee. So we got hang raising pre-flop here, $250. David makes the call. Peter is in. Henry folds. Kelly Joe's going to fold that one most likely. Oh no, he gets the call. He gets the chips together. Got a pair suited connectors. He wants to. I'm sorry, looking at the wrong hand. You got a pair semi connectors suited 8-6. So Josh makes the call as well. 5 players seeing this one. Big pot already. 1,200 on the flop. King high board. David first to act with 2 pair, kings and 8s. Looks like he bets the pot. That's enough to get everybody fold. Hang though with pocket aces. There we go, seeing his hand. Backdoor flush draw. Over pair to the board. Knows David plays pretty loose. But he does lay it down. Aces in the muck. Nice flop for David.
Man, I want my 250 back. I want to never donate.
It was a father-in-law. He tried to pay me was short.
Yeah, father-in-law. Same thing, Dad.
You know, we just dropped the in-law shit.
Yeah, man.
Oh, he tried to date your daughter. Don't see your daughter?
I forgive my shit once if I'm in the wheel.
Henry, you ever ask your daughter?
Did it for the money.
Ask your daughter?
You got an extra one besides the one that he got? David's got deals
Put me on the list, man.
Put you on the list. Get on that list too. Get me on that list too.
Hey.
You gotta be white though.
I'm very white.
You gotta make the cut. Yeah, he is white. He is white.
You're one of those irregular ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Kelly.
He's not the regular white. He's not even the regular Asian. He's just like whatever. A white tail Asian. That's what he is.
You know?
Wow.
I think
So we got Josh raising here $100. Ace, king, 9-7, suited ace. Hang makes the call, the suited ace of his own. Kelly Joe's in there. Pair of sevens, queen, jack. 3 players to the flop. 8, 9, 10. Kelly Joe flopping the jack high straight. Sorry, queen high straight. My bad. So he leads out, gets everybody to fold. Good flop for Kelly. Just no action. That's happened to him a couple of times tonight. Flop some pretty big hands, bet, and just don't get any action. You heard Adonis there. 2 more hands. Let's make them count. Hopefully there are some big ones here. Well, thank everybody for sticking with us tonight and watching the stream. Appreciate all the views.
They moved it anyway, so it only ran it. Which is why I go too much. That's what keeps me up. Black off too
You're as old as young as you feel, and lately
What you been feeling in the early 20s?
I gotta be honest. You gotta stop going up the hill and down the hill.
that motorcycle back killed me.
For real, man. It's tough.
I'm on a mountain bike today, and riding that trail over at Orange Farm.
Yeah, almost killed yourself.
See a raise out of Henry in the spot. Ace, king. Oh, he just calls. Surprise. Ace, king. Double suited.
Just ride a regular bike.
Josh only flat. We're going to be 3-handed to the flop here. King high board, 2 9s. Now Josh has the flush draw here. Everybody's checking. Henry checks his king there. Allows Lee to bet out. Lee bets his king, gets Henry to fold. Back to Josh with the flush draw. He's going to raise here. 350 to go. Lee not scared, makes the call. Lee with top 2. Now picks up a gut shot straight draw. Josh is now open-ended with his flush draw.
Last stand, buddy.
So Josh checks. Lee leads out for 500. You see at least a call out of Josh here. Don't be surprised if he gets a raise in. Flush draw, open-ended straight draw. And pretty loose and aggressive thus far tonight. Although the paired board this time makes him a little nervous, and he does lay it down.
9-7.
No boat for Lee.
Yeah. So guys, this is our last hand.
We got Cody trying to drive the action here.
Alright,
You guys bought it? Bob, hot last hand?
100 didn't go to the flop.
I don't know.
Yeah, let me know before I
Whatever you guys do.
Go ahead.
That's fine, yeah.
Oh, like a bomb
Bomb hot, yeah. Bomb hot last hand.
Okay.
We're going to wait
So
We put 100 and
everybody puts in
see the
100.
flop and
There is no action. I go straight to the flop.
100, we go straight to the
Everybody puts in 100. No action. Straight to the flop. Then we start.
Still plays good. Still plays good.
Cool. I want to be $100. Yes.
Still plays good.
well, someone's gonna get messed up in the sand.
I think so. Let me know when you're ready. Then. Go start.
All right, you heard them. We're doing a little bomb pot. Everybody putting in $100 here pre-flop. We're going to go to the flop and then allow action to go. So we're starting out with 900 in there. We'll drive some action for the last hand of the night.
It's on me or what?
Don't go crazy because it's only $900 out there. It's not like that's $20,000.
Oh, here we go. King high board, 2 diamonds. Let's see. I see Josh with the diamond draw.
Yeah, give him that. I'll take top set.
I don't see any kings here. I don't see Hang's hand.
Oh.
Josh with the pair of queens.
You go.
All right, so Hang's going to bet $900. Of course, the mystery hand's the one leading out here. Over to David. Does have diamonds. The smallest diamond, so he lays him down. Back to Henry with the pair. He's going to fold.
Oh, okay.
Kelly Joe's out. Cody folds. Josh putting it all. We're going all in here. Josh with the diamond draw with queens. Running it twice.
Two times. We're good?
Of course, starts to get a little choppy here last hand of the night. All right, so we had 2 diamonds in the run out. Sounds like Josh flush.
King, ace, queen. All right, queen of hearts.
King of hearts on the turn. King of spades on the turn. King's full.
Wow. Wow. What a hand.
That's it.
And I guess it didn't matter what Hang had. As Josh takes it on both runouts. Scoop that one and get a lot of those profits back that he had earlier in the night. Josh, see, Henry and Josh both look to be the big winners of the night. Henry up about 13K since the start of the night. Josh up about.
You do what you know. Come on, Harry. You do what you want. Let's get it.
Let's see. I think he did add on though. So.
Is there another rack?
Won a couple of thousand there. Sorry for that. We did have to restart the chip counts in the middle, so the chip counts, I can't put the graphics up because it really wouldn't be that accurate. But I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight on the live stream. Next stream tomorrow night, we got a 5, 10, 25 no limit hold'em game coming your way. Be sure to tune in for that. And again, final table action of our winter series. Event number 1 is going to be on Sunday. You can still get into that. Flights 3 and 4 tomorrow at noon and 6 p.m.